Welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and in this episode, we got some new Avatar: The Last Airbender figures from Diamond Select to take a look at today. We've been reviewing all of the Diamond Select Avatar products since they began, and that's included the action figures and the PVC statues, and we've had really good things to say about all of them. And it's been a little bit since we've actually looked at any Avatar action figures. I think the last ones we got was Fire Lord Ozai and Toph. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a wait, but finally that wait is over, because today we have Series 5 of the Avatar figures, and that would be Uncle Iroh and Blue Spirit Zuko. So I think it was either Wave 1 or 2 that we first got Zuko, and we got basically a Season 3 style Zuko. So now we're starting to kind of work backwards, and I assume eventually we'll get a Season 1 Zuko also, which, requires a lot more honor. And we also get a first in this series. We get our very first Diamond Select Uncle Iroh in this lineup, which is really cool. I want to say it's long overdue, but there's so many other characters in the Avatar universe. They're all awesome, and it's like, yeah, we've been waiting a long time for all of them, but really, I feel like Iroh is one a lot of us are really waiting for, because it's Iroh, for crying out loud. Everybody loves Iroh. To be quite honest, I'm actually surprised we got an Ozai before we got an Iroh, but hey, what do I know here? All that matters now is that we finally do have the Iroh, and we have a really cool version of Zuko to go with him. So we're going to take a close look at these guys out of the packaging in a few moments, but let's actually take a look at these boxes first things first. And yeah, the boxes are pretty much what you get with nowadays any of the Diamond Select action figures that aren't the Marvel Select figures. The Marvel Select figures still have that enormous packaging that are, well, just mammoth boxes. But in the case of most other action figures that Diamond's doing these days, they're now much more compact in these types of packages here. And you're not really losing too much by having the smaller packaging. If anything, these are much more collector friendly and also a lot easier to take them in and out of the box without having to worry about destroying your packaging. Now mine got a little bit banged up in transit, as you can see, because it's got like the Nickelodeon logo here kind of flopping around here. But what you do get with these packaging is a really nice window on the front. This is a great big window here because you can see exactly what this figure comes with and the many accessories that they both have. From there, if we turn to the sides, we've got windows on the left and the right sides, and we still kind of sort of have that classic Diamond Select sunroof, just not quite in the same way, but there is still an opening on top that lets you kind of peek into this figure from above. The back of the packaging here has an image of the two figures in this series, as well as a little bit of background information about what's happening with both of them, because that's kind of an important thing to know here. So this is essentially Season 2 Iroh and Zuko. They're now on the run from the Fire Nation. They're basically outcasts completely, and they're trying to pretty much, figure out what the heck to do from here. But most importantly, we're also getting credits on these figures, and that's something I think they've been kind of doing on and off with the figures, and hopefully are doing it now full time again, because personally for me, that's one of my favorite things about these toys, the fact that Diamond is crediting the folks who creatively made this come together and made it happen. And these figures were designed by Eamon O'Donoghue, who I believe has designed all the Avatar figures so far for Diamond, and this pair was sculpted by Richard Force. So far the line has really not been disappointing at all. I've really enjoyed a lot of what they've done. There've been a few ups and downs along the way, but overall, I've been pretty happy with these figures. So yeah, I'm now super excited to be able to add an Iroh to this as well as Blue Spirit Zuko. But do they actually look as good as they do out of the packaging? Well, let's go ahead and find out right now. So let's go ahead and get these guys out of the boxes and take a closer look at them from all angles. All right, so let's begin this review proper now. And so here is our Zuko in his Blue Spirit outfit, and here is our Iroh. So I think I'm going to spend some time taking a look first at our Blue Spirit Zuko. So I'll move Iroh out of the way just for now. So let's talk about this figure here because it looks good. This is another really great one from Diamond already. I'm pretty impressed by how this is looking here. Blue Spirit Zuko is a pretty interesting choice for a figure because it's a good variant, but it also is basically a completely new figure. So it's not like we're getting some kind of repack or anything like that. Like, this is all new pieces, all new tooling, and it's a cool variant to make of him also. So let's talk about this likeness here. Does it look like our Prince Zuko? Yeah, this looks like actually a much more angsty version of Zuko than we had in the previous releases of him. Because previously we had basically Season 3 version of Zuko from Diamond. So by that point, he's kind of reformed, a little bit longer hair. This is still a kind of like in-between phase for our Zuko, where he doesn't quite know who he is yet. He's trying to figure himself out. And that likeness really says that to me. It actually says a lot. It speaks some volumes with how it looks. So yeah, the sculpting there is good. The paint job is very nice as well. It's looking very much like Zuko would look. So yeah, points for that. Off to a good start here. Now let's talk about some of the body as well. So this outfit is not going to be the most exciting because it's basically just him in like a ninja outfit, if you will. He's not actually a ninja because he is, from the Avatar world, but he's basically the equivalent of it. He's kind of sneaking around in the black outfit. And yeah, this pretty much looks like that outfit. It's a good translation of how it looked in the cartoons. I think it's also worth pointing out now too, we'll get into some of the articulation, but this is a very heavily articulated figure. I mean, all the figures generally are, but this one in particular, because he doesn't have any obstructions, no real clothing in his way, you can really appreciate the full range of motion here. Now, there we go. That neck was stiff out the box. Normally, you should not just do that out of the box because you could break a joint. So, you know, if you do have stiff joints that you're afraid of trying to crack or whatever, do heat it up first with some hot water or a hair dryer. Otherwise, you could permanently damage the figure or break it. But yeah, we have a ball jointed neck that moves around pretty well. We have ball jointed shoulder. We have a bicep swivel over here too, which is cool. We have the elbow joint over here. We have a wrist that can bend and flex. We have the top part of the torso, which does move around a little bit. The waist does not move. That's something Diamond doesn't really do. They don't really move the waist a ton. But what we do get with them is, whoa, full range of motion in the legs, so you can get a nice Zuko split. And besides that, too, we have the thigh cut, snap, crackle, pop. We have a double jointed knee, which that's very tight. I'm definitely not messing with that. But there's a double jointed knee there. You could see that. You can see it from behind as well. So that's very, very nice for articulation. And then we have an ankle over here. Both ankles bend, flex, rotate, however you want them to get. So a lot of articulation on this Zuko. And that's basically a look at the articulation of all Diamond figures in general. That's going to be how they are. So great paint job, great work on this outfit here, but let's talk about accessories, because that's really where this figure is going to shine the most. So you already saw in the back here, he has this nice scabbard over here. Well, this is where you can hold his twin swords. So Zuko comes with 2 swords, and that's because these are essentially swords that kind of connect to each other, back to back. And that's accurate to how they were in the cartoon as well. So we can do this, and we get our twin swords right in the scabbard. Perfect fit. Wow, perfect fit. And there you go. It looks like it's 1 sword, but nope, it is 2. So we'll pull both of them out, and let's actually see if we can get them in his hands. So his hands are quite tiny, but I feel like they should still be able to fit the sword. It's just a matter of finagling the toy into the right position. And it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I got one in already off screen, but it didn't take any extra time. It was really just like as soon as I moved it, it went in. There you go. Yep, see? It doesn't take any real extra time at all. It's actually quite easy to get those swords in there. So boom, there he is with the swords. In addition to the swords, though, he also comes with another head sculpt and that blue spirit mask. So let's pop the head right now. I'll show you guys how that works. And popping the head also means you can move the scabbard out of the way if you want as well. So if you want to just take that off of him, make him a generic ninja, you can easily do that. So this is him with his ninja head on, if you will, as Dusty Rhodes would say. There we go. Squeeze it down as much as you can because you don't want that neck joint to be too exposed. And then we can slide, and by the way, yeah, just so you guys can see what that face looks like, it's basically similar style face, just different facial expression than what he had on already. So I'm going to try and slide this neck down a little bit further. And then I'm going to slide on our blue spirit mask. And there we go. So for some reason the head's not going down quite as much as I would like it to go. I think it might just be a stiffness joint because, like I said, this is fresh out of the box. So I think it needs some warming up to get the head where it should be. But this is how our Blue Spirit Zuko is going to look once he has his mask on. And I like that it's actually not a separate head. I do like that this is a mask you can take on and off. So that really gives you a lot more posability options, a lot more photography options as well. But yeah, the mask is also just really, really cool. Great detail, wonderful paint job on him. Love the facial expression of that demon. So this is really good. You know, I was not necessarily too keen on the idea of getting Blue Spirit Zuko just because it's, you know, Zuko in a black outfit. It's not the most interesting to me. But adding on all the different elements that you have, the extra heads and the mask and swords, it's a really great looking figure. So that's our Blue Spirit Zuko. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Iroh now. And here is our Iroh now. So yeah, this is the one I feel like we've all been waiting for. At least I know I've been waiting for a long time for an Iroh. And here he is. So does this figure actually look like Iroh does in the cartoons? I think so, yeah. It has a really kind of fun derpy expression on him, but it's like an Iroh derpy expression. You know, it's got really good sculpt, I think, also as far as the expression with the eyebrows too. The beard looks correct. Like, it all looks like him. I mean, honestly, it does look and feel like Iroh. Here's a look at how his hair is from behind also, which is kind of funny seeing him with long hair, but yeah, he had long hair. Just nothing on top. But yeah, I think the eyes are great, the nose is great. All the elements look good. It's got a really smooth head sculpt too. Like it looks cartoony, but it looks like they pulled it from the cartoon and somehow found a way to make it in 3 dimensions. So that works for me. And likewise, same thing with the outfit too. I think the outfit is really good looking. It's got a really good color to it. I mean, it looks just like the Earth Kingdom outfit that he was wearing in the cartoon come season 2, I believe. And it looks nice. Yeah, you know, good folds in the fabric. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how it looks here. Now let's talk about, I think, some of his articulation, because he is a little funky looking, and that's because of, well, all the different clothing that he has on him. So, you know, we still have a head that can move around, but it's, hear that noise? That's super stiff. It's a super stiff head, and articulation is going to be very limited because of that long hair. The shoulders can move around. Wow, he's not stiff, actually. He's stiff Well, he's not just stiff, I should say. He's stiff and squeaky. That's a weird combination, but I guess it's because of the material, this rubber that they're using on top of the body. So yeah, you have that. We have elbow joint that can move. The wrists can bend. And that's really honestly it. Like, you can't move his waist at all because this giant piece of rubber on top of him. You can try to get some flexibility with his legs because he has it, but it's going to be very hindered. You can see he still basically has like similar kind of joints, but hard to move him around. He has the double jointed knees, but not going to get much articulation out of him, unfortunately, just because of how he is. And likewise, ankles can squeakily bend and flex, but yeah, you're not going to be able to get him in a ton of dynamic poses, unfortunately, or at least not like this. But as far as accessories go, I think this is where our Iroh really excels. So, you can see here he already has these two hands, which are great for holding stuff, but we also have some additional hands here. We have these fire-bending hands, which you can do some fun stuff with, but that's not all, because there's an additional fifth hand that actually is fire-bending. So we're going to do a little swap-a-roo right now, and let's see how easy it is, or how maybe not easy it is, to get these hands in there, because I'm a little worried about the sleeves on this outfit, and that they're very long, and that's going to make things a little bit more difficult than it should to get things out. Yeah, and Fear is confirmed. It is a little bit harder to get these things out. You kind of have to yank them out. I tried just going around the sleeve area, but I basically just scratched up my finger doing that. It's not like, it's bleeding or anything, but it's really painful, so just a thing to watch out for. And likewise, talk about painful, the flames in this are also very sharp, so this is going to be an ordeal, I feel like, to get this hand in there. Let's hope it's not. Like, it feels like there's no good way to get this hand in there just because of the shape of the outfit. Like, I want to be gentle, but it's also hard to even get a grip on the hand. But there we go. I think that's about as far as... Yeah, okay, no, it's actually... All right, it's in there. So, yeah, we have ourselves a fire-bending Iroh hand, and that actually does look pretty nice. That does look pretty cool. I actually like this a lot. It's able to support the weight of the hand also, so that's good. So yeah, at least we do have a fire-bending hand, and it works and looks good. Just, be careful putting it in there. Just because these sleeves are so long, it is going to make it a little bit of a challenge, so take your time. Don't be too forceful with it. Eventually, it will get into place. So I'm going to leave that hand on him, though, because I don't want to swap any more hands right now. Besides that fire hand, there actually is one other elemental accessory here. That's going to go on his other hand. Dare I swap it out? I guess I'm going to try. I hope it doesn't hurt too much. It's going to hurt a lot. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this maybe off camera, and I'll work on it with some pliers maybe. But we have one other hand here, and that's this hand. This is really, I think, probably the cooler of the two. Well, no, that's not true. They're both really awesome, but this is a really good one because this is him deflecting lightning. So this is when he was fighting Azula towards the end of Season 2, I believe, and he deflects her lightning and zaps it out of his own fingers, which is a technique that he would later teach Zuko how to do as well when he fights her in Season 3. So again, just love these effects that they do, because to me this is what really adds the value in the Diamond Select toys, things like this. And this looks beautiful, great paint job. Yeah, again, I wish I could get in there. I'm going to try it again. What the heck, let's try it one more time on camera just to say I did it. It's just, yeah, these sleeves are really pointy and very sharp. A sleeve shouldn't be sharp, but the way it's put together, it just is really uncomfortable to try and yank it out of there. So yeah, no, it's not. It's moving, but it's not going the way I want it to go. So I'm going to try it off camera. If I can get it, I'll show it to you guys right here. And hopefully it looks really awesome, because I'm pretty sure it will. But we'll come back to that in a little bit. Let's keep moving forward. But really, what are you going to use that fire for? Well, obviously, to brew some tea. So we have a little tea stand over here, and we also have a little flame to go with it. So you can pair these two things together, put it on a table somewhere, and you can actually have your Iroh make some tea. That's a really good accessory. You can't have an Iroh without having a tea set somehow. And I'm very happy they did include one here. And it's a really nicely sculpted one also. I kind of wonder if it's actually from the episode specifically where he was making tea and he had his tea shop. That I don't remember. But I do remember this last accessory, which is kind of an obscure one, but it's kind of unforgettable too. We got a Sungi horn. So yeah, if you're wondering what that horn was, that's what that is here. It's the Sungi horn. I think he plays it like twice in the entire series. I think he has it when he's in the Earth Kingdom briefly. And then I think he has it again at the end of the series in the finale. I don't remember, but yeah, they included the Sungi horn, and that's like such a weird, obscure accessory. So the way it should work, I don't know if it's going to actually be possible to do this, but you're supposed to like wrap it around your entire body, and okay, he's actually doing it. Okay, I didn't think he'd be able to actually do it for real. Yeah, so I'm not quite getting it in the exact place it's supposed to be, but I think with some more work you probably could. But yeah, you're supposed to basically wrap it around him like this, and that's how he holds it. So he's actually doing it. I didn't think he'd be able to do that. But yeah, there you guys go. Sungi horn, obscure, very fun accessory, but really good choice. The fact that they included the fire, that they included the horn, and more importantly, they also included the teapot. So great stuff here. But that's not it. There's actually one more accessory I want to show you guys. And to do that, we're going to have to get these figures vertical. And what is that final accessory? Well, I'm gonna use our Zuko here just because I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to shut off on him, but both of these figures do come with this. They both come with bases. So this is part of the base here. This is just your flat old base. You can put your dudes on it, but what makes them exciting, and there are other Diamond figures that have this, is this. It comes with this action base. So this is cool. It is articulated, it is flexible. All we need to do is pop it on into here, just like that. And now you could actually have your guy posing in the air. So unfortunately, I've had some figures actually break on me in the past. And yeah, it is actually flexible, as you just noticed here. It's flexible, meaning you can swap these pieces out, make them bigger or smaller or whatever you want to do here. But yeah, you do need to be a little bit careful with these. But yeah, you can actually have them jumping in the air and posing and doing different things now. So, you know, work on that by basically screwing and unscrewing these to tighten them and loosen them as you need them. That would be the way to do this. The way I'm doing it here, not the way to do it, really. But yeah, you do get action bases for both of them, and so with that, it does give you the ability to have some really fun dynamic posing that you otherwise could not do. And yeah, I've had this with, in fact, if you watch my video review of the Invincible figures, you can actually see one of them break on camera. So that's why I'm not going to go too in depth with these, but yeah, they both have it. And yeah, I'll show you guys Iroh as well. Iroh, his weight is definitely going to be too much to handle it, but he does have a little hole in his back there. So we'll pop him on like this. I think his is a little bit tighter because it's got that rubber body around him. But yeah, no, his body, yeah, no, there's no way that was going to support it. So, you know, like I said, get a screwdriver, tighten and untighten those as you need. That's going to really be the only way to get them in place here. But otherwise, I mean, as far as just a base goes, they're still pretty sturdy otherwise. So that's going to be a good way to get both your guys standing. And I definitely recommend it because it's a lot easier to just use the base than it is to fight them and get them in a certain position that otherwise might be more difficult to have them hold. But there we go. That is our Iroh and our Blue Spirit Zuko from the Avatar figures by Diamond Select. Another very strong wave. You know, Iroh is awesome to have. The Blue Spirit Zuko, I'm actually liking a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't think I'd like him that much, just because, again, it's, you know, it's just a black outfit. It's kind of plain, not that interesting, really, but, you know, the mask, the different heads, the different weapons he has, it actually works for me a lot. And likewise, with Iroh, he actually exceeded my expectations because he had that silly Sungi horn. He has the fire and the flames and the lightning hand and the teapot. I mean, he has everything I want in a figure for Iroh. Now, you know, I still want to see him later on in different outfits. I would like to see more Irohs, but hey, that's maybe something that could happen in the future. I don't know. Also, we have this lightning hand. So the one downside I will say, and really the only downside about them, is the joints. You know, as you can still see, I couldn't get Zuko's head all the way down onto his shoulders the way I would have liked to. And swapping hands with Iroh, it's possible. It's just a little painful, and I don't feel like cutting up my hand today because I got other things to do, guys. So, you know, take your time with them, really blow dry or heat up the joints as much as you can before you do any swapping if you get these for yourself. Take your time with them, don't rush things, and you won't be in as much pain as I was today doing this video. Otherwise though, they're really great Avatar figures. I'm loving how they're continuing the lineup, and if you're collecting these figures and want to keep them going in your collection, check out my Amazon affiliate links in the description below. If you click those links and buy these figures or anything else after you click that link, it helps out this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you. So until next time, I'm Matthew. That's our look at the Blue Spirit Zuko, Uncle Iroh from Diamond Select's Avatar: The Last Airbender line. Not that James Cameron Avatar garbage. No sir, the real authentic Avatar. We'll see you guys next time with more action figure reviews and everything else we do here on the channel. Flameo!